And we're back. Andy Frasco's World Saving Podcast. I'm Andy Frasco. This is my co-host, Nick Gerlach, as always. Nick actually got this, our next guest. Nick, what's going on? What do you...
Andy, I'm been a little bit worried about your dating life for the last, 5 years. Whenever we met. These women, they come and go, Andy, and we need to, I think, work on your communication a little bit. So I brought in an expert. Nicole Scott, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How about you guys?
Hey, Chanel, how you doing? I feel like this is like an intervention right now.
She's the host of Chemistry, right?
Yes, that is correct.
She also has a podcast called Relationships Matter. Is Josh Powell your co-host still for that?
Josh Powell is my co-host for that, absolutely.
Former NBA player, remember?
Yeah.
Oh, Josh Powell. He was a Laker.
Yeah, he was a Laker.
Oh my God.
Andy's a Lakers nut.
Oh my God. I'm one step away from Josh Powell.
There you go. It's like Kevin Bacon.
I'm like Kevin Bacon. The Josh Powell effect.
Oh my God.
Chanel, I think I know the reason why you're here.
Oh my God. Tell me. Please fill me in.
Why am I
afraid of commitment?
Why am I afraid of why do people get afraid of commitment?
Why do you get afraid?
Well, we can go deeper in this. Let's do it. I don't know. Like, what's the key to a healthy relationship? I think that's my first question.
I think the key to being in a healthy relationship is the prep work that you do prior to even considering being in a relationship. And that's really just happening to your purpose. Just knowing your God-given identity, knowing why you were put on this earth and what you were called to do. And then that way you'll have contentment within self before you try to connect with someone else. A lot of times people live vicariously through a connection or an attachment with another person because they don't know their value or they don't know who they are.
So why do I like one night stands so much?
Because you probably got childhood trauma. What happened in childhood?
I did have sex with my teacher when I was in high school.
Oh my God.
I'm just going to let you guys talk for a little bit.
I mean, sometimes when you have those experiences early on in life, it awakens something on the inside of you. It's like a sensational desire that you have for this feeling, right? And so because you're chasing that, it's difficult for you to stay in a committed relationship.
You're totally right. I mean, I'm just going to tell you everything. We're friends.
Okay, lay it on me.
First of all, I'm so happy you're here because I don't have anyone to talk to about this. Let me mute my phone besides Nick. And Nick's like, shut the F up already. I've heard it.
I can't help you.
I think I got addicted to sex early in my life.
Okay.
And instead of drugs, I got into sex. And I think what I'm trying to figure out is how do I micromanage a healthy sexual relationship with one person versus like when I'm dating someone, I am afraid to have sex with them because it's the trauma, like you're talking about, of just one night stands. So how do I build intimacy with someone in a way
said it?
Right.
What you're afraid of is you should not, because this is the thing. It's about the hunt for men, right? So if you're having these one night stands, you've already fulfilled whatever that thing is that's on the inside of you guys.
Right.
Inside of men.
It's like a hunting mentality.
Yeah, right? It's like a hunt. And now you fulfill this insatiable desire on the first night. Now there's nowhere to go with it. It's like, where do I go with it? Because you don't have a foundation. You don't know the person. You don't know their value. You don't know their significance. You don't know how they bring value to your life. You don't even care at that point because you have fulfilled that thing. But if you wait, right, and develop a level of connection, communication, a foundation, then you start to tap into those things that have substance. Like, wow, this person can bring this value in my life. This is how they can add value to me. This is how I can add value to them. And then you begin to build on that. And then sex is a byproduct of a healthy connection. Right. So often we jump into that thing and then it's like, there's nowhere to go with it. You went from A to Z in one night.
Yeah. And that's what
you had your dessert before you had your steak, Andy.
I did.
Yeah.
Stop eating dessert first.
What is that? I mean, what is it that I would ask you? Because you have all the answers, right? We just know how to ask you the right questions in order to get the answers out. What is it that make you want to have sex on the first night?
I think it's a form of, I don't know, intimacy. Is a form of intimacy, or it's all no. I'm lying to myself.
It's intimacy.
No, it isn't intimacy. It's like a dopamine rush. It's like a drug addiction. It's like an addiction, right? Like,
oh, it's like a sex addiction.
It's like a sex addiction.
Have you gone to counseling for that?
I haven't. Should I?
Yes, absolutely.
No.
Okay.
What if she was like, nah?
I'm gonna clap to that.
No,
I just need someone to tell me that.
They're gonna know how to ask you the right questions in terms of sex and how it plays a role in your life, how you see it, right? It sounds like you objectify women. Like you don't even look at them as like a human being, right? As opposed to something that you just gotta catch.
No, because
I
don't think it's it's that per se. I think I'm trying to find love so quickly because my job, I'm always away. I'm in a band. I do 250 shows a year. So I feel like the next time I'm going to see someone is a year. So it's not about objectifying. It's about like speeding up the process to see if we're meant for each other. And that's what's fucking me up. It's like I'm rushing all this thing. It's like speed dating.
Yeah, but sex isn't going to determine if that's your person because there's so much more that goes into building a relationship, right? You may have chemistry with someone on the first night, but how do you know that you have a level of compatibility?
Totally.
That's where it is. You got to be compatible in order for it to have substance and last.
Right.
It's more than sex because what are you going to do when you can't have sex?
Right.
There has to be something else that sustains the relationship, and that's where the friendship comes in. Right. That's where the compatibility comes in. That's where you learn the person's values, their goals, all those different things that make up a person. And then you find out, wow, can I do life with this person?
Yeah. And that's what I've been doing lately. But I'm not having sex with them.
Okay.
And I'm having like these like 1 week, like go hang out with them for a week in their town and not having sex. Then they feel like, wow, why don't you want to have sex with me?
Because I want to get to know you.
Totally. My ex-girlfriend. My ex-girlfriend I wanted to like have this relationship with her, like on a personal level and not feel like sex was part of the relationship. And I was just trying to be her friend and stuff. And she felt bad because I didn't want to have sex. She thought it was her.
But you articulated to her what your motives and your intentions were, right?
Yeah, I did. And then I
feel like if they want to have sex and they're rushing you, then you have to think, okay, you ain't the only one. They're doing that with you. They're doing that with somebody else.
That's what I mean. I think it's a both ways. It's not just me saying like, oh, I want this. Yeah. It's like, I think it's a two-way street. And I'm not a territorial person. I'm like, I talk, I'm a sensitive guy and I talk and it's not just like, I'm like, looking for the one night stand. It's more of like I'm looking for love so quickly.
Yeah,
because I don't have time to get to know someone.
Compared to other Lotharios of your, I would say you have a pretty high respect for women. Like I think you do value women more than other guys in this sort of one night stand territory.
Yeah,
I do think it's something else than that.
So what do you think? How do I? Honesty. Tell me like the core things of a relationship. Like you're talking to a kindergartner. Because
like I said, like it's knowing who you are. I want to ask you this. How do you feel after you have sex? Like, how do you feel? Like, what is it that make you say this is going to be, because you decide whether it's a one night stand.
Yeah.
Right. That's something that you actively make a decision and say, I'm not going to call this person back for one reason or the other. So let's talk about that. What is it that makes you say that?
I guess it's not a one night stand. It's like basically we hook up once a year when I come back to town.
But why?
We still stay in touch. It's like not the, it's like more of a
friends who have sex.
That's who I have sex with.
But you create, look, you as the man, you set the precedence for what it's going to be.
Right.
So what I want to ask you is why? Because it could be more if you allow it to be.
I think I'm scared to commitment because I'm always away and I'm scared that they're just going to eventually hate me because I'm always gone on the road.
But they can't go on the road with you. You can't create this schedule where, we're going to meet up here. Like, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the effort.
Maybe I'm just being selfish.
It sounds like you're making excuses for not wanting to be in a relationship because you get to determine how this relationship is going to run.
True.
Like, if you don't want them to come on the road, you'd be like, I don't want you to come on the road. But if I want you to come on the road, if we can meet up here or we can see each other at least this amount of time while I'm traveling, then we can actually make this work. We got FaceTime nowadays. We can FaceTime, right? We can talk. We can do all these different things.
Right.
So it's all about what you put into it.
100%. You're totally right. And
so is it that you don't want to do the work, or what is it?
I don't have enough time.
That's honest. He's being honest.
I'm being honest.
Okay, so then if you don't have enough time, then your desire for a relationship it doesn't hold enough weight.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah. Because you would make
You're
time.
saying I don't have enough time. That outweighs your desire to want to be in a relationship.
So maybe I never want to, maybe I just don't want to be in a relationship. And everyone's, because I'm just getting older.
We got to be honest with ourselves. Yeah. Okay, so then that's a heart issue. You got to be honest, right? Because the answer's are within you,
totally.
Right? We can talk about it all day, but you got to be like brutally honest. Like, is this something that I really want? Am I willing to dedicate the time that it takes in order to nurture a relationship? And if I'm not, I got to be honest about that.
Right. I think I just was honest with that. And
you don't want it. Or
I do want love. I do want love.
But then you know what? If I was getting ready to say this, it's either you don't want it or you haven't met the right person
that
has displayed enough value for you to say, okay, I'm going to settle down
and
I'm going to put the work to sustain this relationship. You haven't met the right person yet.
This happened to me, basically.
What?
With Julie.
Yeah, with Julie.
I was like, not maybe as crazy as you, but I was pretty single my whole life.
Really crazy.
I've been with the same woman for 12 years, but before that, I was very single.
Right.
I think that's what happened. Maybe you just got to meet the right lady.
But what was it about Julie that made you say, I'm going to settle down and be with Julie?
Well, she's very good looking. That helps. She is beautiful. She's kind of the opposite of me, which is sort of attractive to me. Like, she has a lot of empathy and she's like a giver, So I think that was what it was. And she's funny.
Yeah.
So then I'm going to use you as an example. So what did it take for you and Julie to get to the point? Like, what happened?
It was very quick. We just hit it off very quickly, and I was like, "All right, this is it. I don't know. I just knew. You just kind of know sometimes,
Yeah.
It wasn't something I even thought about that much. We just started dating, and I was like, I'm into this, and I cut off all the other things I had going on,
Right, but you saw enough value in that woman for you to make that decision.
Yes.
And I'm almost certain that you guys talked a lot.
Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah. We still do.
You talked a lot. Yeah. It wasn't like just sex, but it was about connection.
Yeah. No one's going to be with me just for the sex. That's.
You are.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, she's very good. She's a very good communicator as well. Yeah, I think I am too. But yeah, I think that is a big deal. You have to talk a lot.
Yeah.
They have to be your friend.
You have to talk a lot.
Because you're going to be around them a lot if you're in a relationship. And sometimes they're going to get annoying. And you just have to move, you have to accept that because you're annoying too sometimes.
Right, absolutely. I think you being on a road can actually work in your favor since you have these one-night stands. I would challenge you to put yourself through a test and say, okay, you're going to meet this great person. You're going to notice some amazing qualities about her, but because you travel, you're not going to be around to have sex. I would challenge you not to do it, but continue line of communication with her while you're on the road and just observe.
Yeah.
Observe the energy that she puts into it. Observe the energy that you put into it.
Right.
And then you can decipher and make a decision with a clear mind whether this is my person or not without having the sex. Because sex cannot sustain a relationship. It just
I
cannot.
don't want it to sustain the relationship, to be honest.
Right.
I am traumatized by it now. To be honest. I am.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm just kind of just over sex. I just want to have a person, like an asexual relationship. But he says that's just a friend.
Yeah. Which is fine though.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean,
that's good because it's like you're getting tired. Every man comes to that point in their life where they're like, you know what, this isn't serving me anymore.
Right.
Like I need something deeper, right?
Right.
I need something deeper. I personally, as a woman, can never understand because we as women, we don't want a whole bunch of hands on our body.
Right.
Right? We only want
Yeah.
like one set of hands, and we can have it that way on our bodies. But men, you guys can separate. I don't know how you separate that and just have the act.
Right.
You know?
It's like caveman style. I don't know. That's what I don't understand. Because like then I'm like questioning, am I gay? Like,
no.
Yeah.
I don't think you're gay.
Are you? Look, it's a question. Are you?
No, I'm not. But like I can't. I feel like in my brain, I'm like, why can't I relate with a woman? You know, or it's just in my own head. I'm just in my own head about this whole thing. And I need to get out of my own way. And also I settle. I want to.
Oh, I don't do that.
It's not going
to last if you settle. If you settle, it's not going to last.
That's the woman. That's the woman's job to settle.
Yeah, don't do that because it's not going to last. The moment you meet someone that's more attractive than that woman, you're going to be out the door. That's not. Absolutely not. I would say maybe it has something to do with being disciplined with your body.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
You got to practice discipline. Even if you have that desire to want to have sex, if you meet an attractive woman that's extremely attractive, highly intelligent, articulate, has all of these amazing qualities that you're looking for in a woman, but you are having this sexual desire, in that moment, put your body under subjection and say, you know what, I am going to fight whatever that off, and I'm going to focus on really getting to know this person and putting in the effort to call her, FaceTime if you're on the road, text her, be creative with it.
Yeah. Because and it's also like going back to the sex addiction thing, like I stopped masturbating.
Okay.
And that's helped me. I know, and let me know if I'm just telling you too much information. I know we just met each other.
She goes, okay. That was so funny.
But I think what's triggering the sex, because like, sometimes I'll do a little cocaine, I'll have to go to bed and I'll have to like beat off and to go to bed. So I stopped that routine of just sexual.
She looks like your mother reacting to you talking about this stuff. This cannot be my baby.
Okay.
No, but like, I think it's the sexual. I'm retraining my brain that everything doesn't have to
end in that.
Right. I'm retraining my brain to like say like there's more than, just me or her coming. It's just that's just the beginning, the relationship, the heart to heart is because I'm like I'm really am searching for love. Like I'm not like just trying to fuck around. Like I want to find a person. I can't get out of my own way.
I think that you need to talk to someone who can help you dig a little bit deeper to determine what is driving that behavior.
Yeah.
Right. All the way down to, these are the things that I'm doing to appease this. And even though you've stopped, right, we want to tap into what is it that makes me want to do that.
I think I never felt like I was wanted as a kid.
Okay. So see, now we're getting somewhere.
Okay.
So did you experience a tremendous amount of rejection?
Yeah. Rejection, my family. I was like the youngest I'm the youngest, 8 years younger. So I just always felt like
extra.
I remember in third grade, I stole some of my mom's old jewelry. Shout out to my mom. She's listening to this. But I stole some of her old jewelry and I gave it to a girl that I really liked. And she threw it on the ground and just like stomped on it and like made a fool of me.
I mean, she likes you in third grade though.
I don't know, but it hurt my feelings and it got me scared to like be intimate again because that was the first time I ever really liked someone. But I don't know why that is still triggering me from third grade. Yeah. I'm 37 years old,
Right. And you're an attractive guy, so maybe it's the little boy on the inside of you. You got to get past that.
I know.
This is the thing. We can exude this. I don't know, this certain, like you say you do music and you travel and you have all these amazing things going on, right? And so people see that, right? But you're still dealing with the trauma that the 8-year-old dealt with 31 years ago?
29
years ago?
I appreciate you think I'm 31.
You got to really deal with that.
Yeah.
Huh?
I appreciate you think I'm younger than I am. I really that makes me feel good.
Attractive guy, I really do. No, I'm so serious. Like, you know, I can see why, you know, women would be attracted to you, but
He's
you're
fun,
still
too.
struggling with something that happened to you 30 plus years ago.
Yeah, so that's my question. Why do we hold on to trauma?
I don't know. Like, you have to ask yourself, because I'm almost certain that people don't respond to you in the way that 8-year-old girl responded to you.
I know.
100%.
So you got to change your mind. You got to change the way you think.
Right. Yeah, totally.
About yourself. Like, how do you feel about yourself? Do you think you're great? Do you think you're amazing?
This is the first time I've ever loved myself. This is like the first 2 years of my life where I'm confident that I'm a badass in my job. I'm heartfelt. I'm considerate. Like I do. This is the first time I've really felt confidence in myself, and it's so weird because you don't know my persona on stage, but I'm like pretty confident on stage, and then right when I get off stage, I'm like kind of this insecure. You think so, Nick? What do you think?
We got that in common, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we got that in common.
What do you think
right?
that is?
It's about childhood trauma. It's about childhood trauma and things that we experienced as a kid that we haven't gotten over, and so as an adult, we try to prove to ourselves that we can get that person or that we can do whatever it was that we wasn't able to do as a child, right? But then it has everything to do with us not loving ourselves, right? This is something that I just learned recently. It's like a person will say, do you love yourself? And instinctively, you're going to say, yes, I do. But then you look at how you allow others to treat you, how you treat yourself, right? And then the answer is absolutely, I can't, because there's a deficit there. So then those are the issues that you have to tackle and figure out how to overcome.
Right.
So,
how did you overcome it?
You know what? I tapped into my purpose. I got okay with Chanel. Like I spent years trying to fit into circles that I didn't belong. I attached my value to other people who I thought was more valuable than me.
Right.
And I just have to be honest with you. God allowed me to get hurt enough until I learned how to love myself. I got into purpose. You know, that created more access to things that I was passionate about. And then I thrust myself into that and I was good at that. And that's kind of just where I hang out at. It makes me feel good. I'm not abusing myself. I'm not making bad decisions anymore. But that is because I know who I am. I know why I'm here. And so I don't allow anyone to change the way I see myself anymore.
Let's fucking go, Chanel. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, Queen. Let's go.
Like you're amazing.
You're right.
And not just that, the women who, especially the women who get mad at you because you don't want to do that, like that's a red flag all day long.
Yeah,
they gotta go. Absolutely, they gotta go.
I'm thankful that I broke up with I've only had one girlfriend in my life.
It's pretty much the same here.
Yeah,
I had two, kind of. I guess I don't
know.
So, are you married to Julie?
No, but we know all the other. We live together.
It's common law.
It's like, I don't know. It's kind of, for tax purposes mostly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tax purposes?
Kinda, yeah.
Are you for real?
It's like but I don't know. I'm just not like very religious. I kind of see it as like a religious thing, and I'm not super religious. And
what, marriage?
Yeah, I don't want to like step over. I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. But she's
oh my god, this is the most vulnerable I've ever seen Nick Gerlach on my show. By the way,
she's not
keep going, Chanel.
She's not really super into marriage either. We don't really want kids.
Okay.
So I think we're just kind of good where we're at, and I don't know. But we might get married at some point.
Is that okay?
I'm not against it or anything. I think we're both.
I mean, if they're both on the same page.
We're on the same page. We're on the exact same page about marriage. Yeah. I'm not like anti-marriage. It's just I don't know. I think I just don't value being married the same way other people do. Maybe. I'm not saying that marriage is bad, but like it's not something that I need, and it's not something she needs either. But we're partners.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Did you grow up in the household where your parents were married?
Oh, a lot of divorce.
A lot of divorce. So that may have a lot to do with it.
Probably,
I have a family.
Yeah. But her parents are very married. So it's
very
weird.
married. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just think I don't know.
When I see situations like that, because she did grow up in a household where her parents were married, a lot of times we just kind of go along with what the man says. It's just easier because if anything else is going to run you crazy.
Isn't that messed up though?
I don't think that's true with her though, but I do think that does happen a lot.
I mean, it just depends on if she's truly okay with it, and only she can answer that.
Yeah.
So, okay, now
Julie, come in.
we're bringing in Julie, Julie Gerlach. No, that I think you are onto something, Chanel. So maybe the reason why I don't want to have a relationship or get married is because I saw my parents kind of just always they're still together 52 years, and
Okay.
I just always remember them fighting,
Right.
and they still just
Yeah.
stuck together. And I was like, that's been my fear of being with someone that I'm not.
You're never gonna have zero fighting though,
Right.
So you know that's part of communication.
Right. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But that's his example of marriage. And
Right.
so that's like ingrained in his brain. But see, it's up to you to create new memories.
Right.
It's up to
Ooh.
you to establish the type of relationship that you want. A lot of people, because they did see that, they are like, for instance, I'll use myself as an example, not in terms of marriage, but just in terms of life. Grew up, my father raised me, but prior to me living with him, my mom had a boyfriend he abused drugs, right? And so I watched that, and he died from a drug overdose. And as a result of watching how he functioned around my mom, around me, and he was abusive, that was just, when I grew up, that was just something that I was not interested in. I've never smoked in my life. I don't drink. And it's because of what I saw as a kid. I just didn't want to be like that.
Right.
So it's up to you to create those new experiences and new memories.
So we're not enslaved to the past.
No, absolutely not. I think for you, I want you to see someone to explore this whole desire for the sex, because that's not something that's going to go away overnight.
Right.
Like the urge to do, and I've heard some people that I know, won't call any names, talk about, that particular, thing, experience or whatever, and definitely need to kind of dive a little bit deeper to find out where that comes from.
What's your take on it? You don't have to. I don't get offended. What do you think?
I just think that as a kid, you said you had sex with your teacher, right? And so that's a lot, like that's an overwhelming emotion to feel as a child. You understand? Think about your brain as a kid and having that experience. And then it's like a drug addiction. You try it the first time, and then you're chasing that same feeling, however it was, for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And it's never the same.
What's
just like drugs.
Like
it's
heroin,
never the same.
yeah. I was gonna say.
So what's your take about masturbating?
I'll have a take on that.
Hell yeah. She's like, I got relationship.
All right, respect. All right, respect.
I mean, that's a take. Not having a take is
not
a
having
take.
a take. Yeah. So I'm just trying to. What I'm trying to figure out is, okay, we got through the intimacy part. Now let's. What should I look for in a woman that like if I'm on a first date? What I'm not like what I don't even know how to date anymore. Like I don't go on dates.
So, you know how to have friends, right?
What?
It's just our friendship, a healthy friendship. You talk to your counterpart there, y'all just shoot the breeze and talk about and it just gels. It just fits. It just, like he said, you just know. So when you meet this person, you guys are going to have similar goals, similar values. There are going to be some things that you have in common, right? That's just going to intrigue you, and you're going to want to know more about her, right? And that's going to stimulate the conversation, and then you're going to go deeper, and then you're going to want to talk to her again. And it's not going to be about sex, but it's about you just want to be in her presence.
Right.
I just want to talk to you. I just want to be around you.
Yeah. I had this. I had this one. I know. I'm just like, this is a podcast.
Have you met anyone like that before?
Yeah, I did, and I got scared and ran away. So what?
Got scared? What were you scared of?
That it was too perfect, and I'm going back to my parents' relationship and trauma as a kid, and I ran away.
So you saw it going into a direction of possibly being in a committed relationship that could potentially lead to marriage, but then you were afraid of what the outcome would be once you crossed that threshold.
Yeah, she's in a band. I mean, we relate really well, and like we bond really well. I still think she's the love of my life, and is she still around? She got a boyfriend now.
Oh,
I fucked up. Yeah, I fucked up.
Is she married?
No, they live together now.
Oh, okay. But then I ain't gonna encourage you to call up. Then.
No. I'm not. And I don't want to do that. I fucked up.
But you know what? But I would say use that as an example, though.
Yeah.
You know what that like you had that experience.
Can we have more than one soulmates in our life?
I think so.
Yeah, why not?
I think so, and I think because what happens if your spouse or your partner dies?
Yeah,
right.
You're not, are you to be alone for the rest of your life? Absolutely not.
Also, people just change.
People do change.
Yeah,
people do change. Absolutely, people grow. People change. So I just think it's all about God's timing and who who He has created in order for you to go. So let me talk about this. So when two people come together, right, it's for something much greater than you. You guys come together not just to have sex. Right. It's for something that God has brought you two together to do that's much larger than you. That's for the kingdom. And I don't know if you understand that language, right? And so the sex and all that other stuff, that's a byproduct of the relationship. That's not why you came together. That's why I say it's important for you to connect with someone where you have those similar goals and similar values and you can bond and relate, because there is something that you guys have to do together that you just haven't discovered yet.
Yeah.
You are better together.
Right. That's what I see that. That's like me and Nick.
That too. And I mean, it doesn't have to just be a romantic relationship. It could be a partnership. Like
maybe I'm in love with you, Nick Gerlach.
That's fine. You are not my person.
Y'all crazy. But I mean, but you get what I'm saying. Though.
Yeah, totally. We're with you.
We're with you. We're just joking around.
Yeah.
But what's your take on when a relationship is ready to have children?
When it's ready, that's a conversation that the two of you would have to have, and both people would need to be on the same page. You would also need to talk about how you raise your children, because you may have been raised differently. So you definitely don't want to bring children in the world if you guys don't agree on certain things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that all goes back to compatibility as well. So these are questions that you ask before you take it to the next level, before you even consider having children. But let's just get on the same page with this.
Yeah.
What's your take on swingers?
I don't have a take on swingers.
I like her.
I believe in monogamy. Complete and total monogamy.
What about like poly relationships? What's your take on that?
So this is the thing. People are using polygamy as another way to date multiple people.
That's what I'm talking about too. I think it's bullshit.
Never hot people either, is it?
It's just like people say it has something more to do with the economy, but I think it has something to do with your level of greed and not being disciplined with your body and wanting to be with multiple people.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't subscribe to it. Like I subscribe to monogamy through and through, but it's becoming a thing nowadays for sure. And I talk about it a lot on my show, but I do think it has everything to do with you just being greedy rather than just connecting with two other people because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
I think
hold on.
It seems to go wrong a lot.
People are going, their excuse to go poly is because it's cheaper.
You can just get a roommate.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, he takes care of the woman, and you have this relationship with the two females have this relationship with them. I'm not sure I'm man with anybody. That's not happening.
I'm gonna clap to that. Respect.
They just seem to always.
That's not happening. Absolutely not. What if I'm having a bad day and I want to spend time with my man, and he like, oh no, it's Sheila's night. Absolutely not. It's not Sheila's night tonight.
Yeah, it's not Sheila's night tonight.
Also, it's like,
Shana, I love you. You're hilarious.
How could that ever be equal? It's like even when you have like three friends, it's not equal. You know what I mean? So like, there's just no way that could be balanced.
Right.
A good relationship needs to be, right?
Right, and you can't dictate how a person feels. That's the other part that's scary. Like, you bring somebody into your relationship, and what makes you think that person is still going to remain loyal to you if this person is intriguing and they have all these other things, and it's no guarantee. It's a risk.
Right. What about when is it time to call it off with somebody?
Wow. When you can't align with same goals, same values, when it becomes toxic.
Yeah.
Right. When you guys are picking arguments and not getting along and it's becoming abusive emotionally and verbally. That is definitely
or just a chore.
A chore.
What I mean? Like I've noticed that in my past breakups, it's like just a chore to hang out with them. You know what I mean? Or you don't look forward to it.
Right.
Yeah, you're not enjoying yourself anymore. But let me ask you though, is this within a marriage or is this within a relationship?
Well, that's what I want to talk to like have the listeners hear this. Let's hear both sides. Like when do you like a marriage and just a relationship?
And you can go by basic standard rules. I mean, we're just not getting along anymore in a relationship.
Right.
You don't want to take it further. You don't want to get into a marriage. But I think in a marriage, obviously, you should, before you call it quits, you do everything it takes to sustain your marriage. Whether it's going to counseling, have that communication, talk to one another, do the work. But in a relationship, you're kind of just free to do what you want to do, honestly.
Yeah.
What's your take about celibacy?
I think it's great. I think it keeps you focused.
Yeah.
I have been celibate. I have abstained, I would say. I did an 8-year, what I call an 8-year stint, and I'm on a 4-year stint now. Yeah, and it helps you to make better decisions. It helps you to be more clear-minded, right?
So
not connect with the wrong people.
Right. So are you in a relationship now?
No, I'm single.
You're single. So celibacy, can you still date people while being celibate?
It depends on if two people on the same page. I'm gonna be honest with you. Me personally, absolutely not. I can't.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm just being honest. You got to be honest. You got to know you got to know your body. You got to know these things. So that's why it's important to connect with like-minded people. Because if I'm celibate and you not celibate, then how is that going to work?
Yeah, a lot of beating off.
No wonder she's getting so much work done. No wonder she's getting so much work done. She's celibate. She's not dating. It sounds.
No, definitely way more productive.
Yeah.
Way more productive. Absolutely, way more focused. I don't have the distractions.
Some man in your house.
There'll come a season where that time will be up, and then my focus will divert to managing and maintaining a relationship for sure.
Yeah,
but I would have picked good too.
Right.
So that's the important thing, right? Is picking the right person who has similar goals and values. Not somebody who's going to pressure me into having sex, but we're on the same page with some things.
Right.
Well, what do you think is like the biggest mistake people make when they're dating, like when they choose a partner?
The biggest mistake is trying to change a person. You cannot change a person. You got to accept them for who they are.
Yeah.
You got to take it. If they show you who they are, what's that saying?
Believe them. Yeah.
Believe
You're
them.
not going to change them. Absolutely not.
Yeah. But what's the difference between changing and growing?
Well, it's a decision, right? It's a decision. Like, you make a decision and you do the work, right? Some people change like temporarily just to appease you, but then they grow to resent you.
Right.
But then a lot of times growth comes through pain. You have to literally go through an experience. And through that experience, you grow because you're like, I don't ever want to go through that again.
Yeah.
Like it was just painful. And so you learn from that.
Is that why you went celibate first? Because you got heartbroken or hurt or?
Yeah, well, my whole platform is built on my inability to have healthy relationships, making bad decisions, right? Living vicariously through other people, through other connections, and not seeing my own self-worth.
Right. Yeah. I think that's what was triggering me to not find someone. I was toying with the idea of going celibate because it'll focus. Don't even fucking laugh. Don't even laugh, Nick.
You can do it if you're disciplined enough.
Yeah, I think I can be, but
you can't put yourself in an environment where people are trying to influence you to do something that you're intentional about not doing.
You're too hot.
This guy's laughing his ass off.
You're too hot to be celibate, man.
You don't think you can do it. You should do it. He doesn't think you have the ability to do it.
Yeah, Nick, I'll prove you wrong.
Go ahead.
No, but I like a risk. I like a but my question is like, what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
That's the question.
I mean, you're doing it for clarity of mind. If you want to get to know yourself better, I can tell you that as long as I was out there, right, connecting with the wrong person, having sex with I didn't know myself. It wasn't until I stopped that behavior that I got to know who Chanel really was. Right. Distractions were removed and I could see more clear and I could hear more clearer. And I was way more successsul. Like way more. Able to accomplish more for sure.
Yeah. That's why I stopped doing as much cocaine and then I got successful. Pretty crazy.
It's the same part of your brain, I feel like.
What?
Like dopamine receptors,
Yeah.
So let me ask you, I don't. With the cocaine, is that an addiction or is that just something you did for pleasure?
Just for pleasure. I wasn't addicted to it.
No.
It was
so you could just stop it whenever you got ready.
Yeah. I think I'm more addicted to cigarettes. That's a thing. My addiction is cigarettes.
Really?
But
Okay.
I could stop. Yeah, if I could stop.
So let me ask you this: what would make you do that in the first place?
I think socially, just being in the bars or after shows, like I'm just surrounded by drugs, and rock and roll. It's just and some of the people in my band, it's taken them a hard time to get rid of it. So it's like,
for sure.
We're a product of our environment.
We're a product of our environment. And that's why it's like I'm more addicted to the dopamine of like getting that rush on stage. Like I'm addicted to that feeling when you get off stage and like have this like you purged all your feelings out on the stage and
sweaty and
singing the songs that you believe in. And I get off stage.
That's your purpose though. That's it. That's where your focus needs to be.
Right.
All of that energy that you're putting into all these unhealthy things, you need to take that same energy and put it into your purpose, because that's it right there. That's the space that you're supposed to be in.
And that's what I'm saying in the beginning. It's like when I say I'm too busy, all my focus is on my purpose. That's what makes people think I'm selfish.
Okay.
And that's this is like the kind of the back and forth I have in my head of not fully committing to a relationship, because like you said, like all my focus is on my purpose, and it's always been like that my whole life. So I'm like kind of like I'm in my own. I'm fighting a battle in my own head about conforming.
See, but I feel like you feel in terms of my purpose. That's why it's so important to connect with someone who can support that.
Right. That's what I'm looking for.
That is important. Yeah.
So if you hear this, my number is 818-903. No, just kidding. If you hear that right, lady, call
man.
Oh,
that's what you want. People from the internet.
Yeah, people from the internet. Do you think we're idiots?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
I think you guys are real people.
Thanks.
Sure.
That's the first time I've been told that.
It's like this is a very vulnerable moment for me, because this is like I talk about my life, but this is real personal stuff, that I'm going to be putting out into the world.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I think that's a step forward of like understanding your truth, right? It's being honest.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
going a little bit deeper though, because I'd like to talk about relationships, but I think I want you to talk to someone who can kind of help you go a little bit deeper about the childhood trauma.
Yeah.
And then the piece about sex for sure.
Do you think if I figure those out, I could have a healthy relationship?
I think so. Absolutely. I think you can have the discipline that it takes to sustain a healthy
So
relationship.
it's about talk about that. Talk about the discipline.
Yeah.
Will you tell us?
You have to restrain. It's about practicing restraint. You might want something, but it's not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you know that, then you have to practice restraint in that moment, because the repercussions of what it could do. Like, and it's an enemy to your goal. So if you're saying I'm setting out to do this, and then this is over here pulling you, you already know that goes against everything that you're trying to get done.
Right.
So in that moment, you have to practice a level of restraint, and it takes mental strength to be able to not do it.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I'm learning a lot about myself.
You're a genius.
You are a brilliant woman.
Listen, I'm trying. I'm trying.
We're all
really trying.
You know what it is too? It's like we forget to give ourselves grace. That it's our first time living too.
Yeah.
Maybe we've lived a bunch, but in this present dimension, this is our first time that we're living, and we should give ourselves grace when we fuck up.
Yeah. And I really think the fact that you can acknowledge the things that you've acknowledged on this podcast tonight lets me know that you want to change.
Right.
You're just trying to figure out how.
Yeah, I'm just trying.
It's like the how. How do I do that?
Yeah, I think that's the reason why Nick brought you on our show, because
it's like you're not like, oh, I'm cool, it's cool, I'm cool with it. You're not doing that.
No.
Those are the people who are not. When you hear when somebody bring it to your attention and you don't see anything wrong with it, well, you can't make them.
Right. It's like an alcoholic.
It's like you're acknowledging that, I got this going on. I'm just trying to figure out how to overcome it.
Right.
For sure.
No one else can change you. You got to change yourself type beat.
And you got to want it.
Yeah.
You got to really want it. And then you got to put in the work to be able to make the change. Like I said, with me, making bad decisions, connecting with the wrong people, I had to say no more. As much as I want to go out and have fun and, had the one night stand, I'm just kidding. You got to be like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Totally. And I've been more restraintful about, women coming on to me.
I say you've been better in the last year or two.
Yeah.
They're gonna come on to you because you're a performer, right? You're an artist.
He's a good looking dude.
Yeah. He's a good looking dude.
Thanks.
You already know that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's a good looking guy.
Why you slam up like that? He's like, it hurts you to take a compliment.
I'm not good with compliments.
That's not true.
Actually, tell me again how good looking I am.
I'm not good with compliments.
He can't take it.
Yeah.
I'm still that fucking third grade kid who got his heart stomped on.
You're not.
I know.
You're not.
I never had that trauma because I was scared of girls. So. They can't
you're not.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Chanel.
They can't traumatize you if you're scared of them.
Yeah, I mean,
like I used to have the thing where, because guys, I'm 6'1", right, with no shoes on.
Whoa.
And so, because of that, and I've been this height since I was 15 years old.
Same.
So I was awkward in high school. I'm growing into my body. And so I experienced a tremendous amount of rejection too, because I'm taller than everybody.
Right.
And then my life changed dramatically when I went to college. Because now I'm going to school with guys who are like 6'6", 6'9", 6'7". But I still had to deal with the trauma that I experienced as a teenager. That still plagued me, even though I was men were being attracted to me, when I went to school. So it takes work.
How long did it take you to figure that out?
A long time.
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
My best friend's like that. She's 6'1" a day. She's like 6'1" too.
But you know what? The thing is that back then people weren't talking like we're talking now. Like you didn't hear about purpose, you didn't hear about destiny, you didn't hear about vision. You didn't know what it means to know your worth and how to practically do these things. So now that we have these platforms where we can talk about it, then the information is more available to us to be able to make those changes. If I had someone telling me, some of what I'm sharing with you guys tonight, things may have turned out differently for me a lot sooner.
Really? Oh man, you are.
Timing is everything.
And you've come at the perfect time in my life, Chanel. I can't, because this is the first time I'm like really open. Like you said, I'm really open to changing.
Yeah.
And I'm really focused on just, figuring out the cobwebs and the demons in me that I could, they're never going to go away. We just got to be comfortable with them.
Well, no, just think about this. What drives the behavior? Like, you got to be really honest with yourself. Like, why do I respond this way? Why do I act this way?
Right.
What is it that is causing me to be this way? What is it deep down inside? I got to acknowledge that and then deal with it.
Right.
You know?
Perfect.
Ooh, that was...
Oh, that's heavy. That was a meal.
You're a meal.
You are a meal, Chanel. That was heavy. And I'm just thankful you took the time to, I know we didn't really talk about your show and whatnot. So
okay.
Thank you for taking the time.
I think this is a very good representation of what she does.
You want to?
Yeah, no, this is what I do. I don't want to talk. I mean, if y'all want to talk about the show, I'll talk about the show. But this is what I enjoy doing, just having conversation about relationships.
Yeah, it's the best promotion for the show you could have, I think. Right?
Well, tell us tell our fans where they could find your show.
They can find Relationships Matter. You can find it on YouTube. You can also find it on In the Black Network.
Great. Well, go check out Chanel.
And that's Relationships Matter Live. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for being on the show. I really felt like it was a virtual hug.
Yeah.
Well, I sure hope so.
I can come back in 6 months.
I was honest. I saw this thing on the schedule for a long time, and I was scared shitless.
But look, give you the courage and the strength. If you can do it in front of all the millions of people that are going to watch this podcast, and you can go and do it in front of an audience of one, and let that person know what it is that's really bugging you and how to overcome it.
I love you. Thank you for that.
Oh God.
I'll bleep her name out. Don't worry. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Chanel. And I like to end the podcast with a question. What do you want to be remembered by?
Wow. I want to be remembered by my mission, right? And that is to empower other people, right? To not be plagued by toxic and negative relationships, but to really tap into your purpose and know who you are.
Well, you're doing it. You're doing it. Thanks for doing it with us. Have a great day and stay blessed.
You too. Thank you.
Have a good one. Bye.